Hello, explorers, and welcome back to the Fey Wilds. Hello, Snowy. Hello, Komodo Kaden. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all doing good as we return back to the Tales of Apocrypha. Turn this on. There we go. Last time we were going to go deal with a pirate problem. We got jumped by Sahagin. Them Sahagins, man. They're coming at us. We fought them off, and we got here, and then the captain of the guard, or I guess his assistant, the guard are being assholes. They're being assholes to us. We're here to solve the problem. They're being jerks. Ugh. But with that, I think Tove will be rejoining us, so, I can't wait to hear how that happened. So with that, let's go ahead and switch on over and see what everyone's doing. Hello.
It was away.
I'm ready whenever everybody else is ready.
Hello.
Hello.
I think we're ready.
I think we're ready.
I think we're ready.
Are we ever truly ready?
Are we ever
No,
truly
but
ready?
we're here anyway.
But we're here anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
We do it. But yes, hello then everyone, and welcome back to another session of Tales of the Apocrypha. I am your dungeon master and mom, Starion.
No.
Yeah.
No, not you, not you. Just trying to jump up on
Wow.
Wow.
Let's see how it is. And of course, we've got the whole gang together again today. I'm so excited. So we've got Anna playing Tove, the human cleric.
Hello.
We have Bela playing as Narshellus, the definitely full-blooded drow sorcerer.
Hi, I have a dog on top of me.
We've got Rana playing as Arca, the Aarakocra barbarian.
Barbarian, if you will.
Oh my god.
I'm
That's
sorry.
great.
I had to.
That's great, honestly. We've got Yai playing as Yulia, the tiefling bard.
Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well.
You too. Ooh, woo. We've got Eliza playing as Yavari, the tiefling wizard. Oh, you there, Eliza?
Oh, did you hear me?
Oh, you cut out a
Hello?
little bit. Just making sure. Hi.
Oh, not bad. Happy to be here.
Heck yeah. And then we've got our wonderful stream host, Renard, playing as,
A problem.
looks at scribbles on hand.
Problem.
Yogurt,
Problem.
Yogurt.
Tabaxi Rogue.
Yogurt. That's my rival. Yogurt's my rival.
Yeah.
Your
I was
evil
gonna say,
doppelganger.
We could start up a shop called Yogurt and Yarn.
Yogurt.
Love it.
Perfect.
honestly.
No, really, instead of Taffy, it should be Laffy. Is
Oh
your
my
rival.
Happy.
Slappy
Perfect.
Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
No.
So last we left off, our brave band of adventurers, minus Tove, all set off on a skiff with Poe, the Tengu, to head to Eastoft, as Jira had asked for them to go in the stead of Captain Vomptis to see... Shush. To see about this pirate problem that Eastoft is having that has pretty much the entire city cut off from trade. So they headed out, and of course on the way it could not go smoothly as Sahuagin quickly raided the boat, and a couple of people nearly became fish food, but eventually they were all defeated, and you guys made it to Eastoft in mostly one piece.
Mostly one piece.
Mostly one piece, maybe missing some chunks here and there. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yulia.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as soon as you guys got into town, you decided to head straight for the barracks, or most of you at least. Whereas Yavari split off to the potion shop to see about the Sahuagin fins, to see, if anything of worth could be gotten from them. In the barracks, of course, Narcellus, being the very drow-looking man that he is, was a little discriminated against, and decided to wait outside while Arca, Taffy, and Yulia went inside to deliver their missive to General Baldvin. And so since the party did get a little split up, I did do a couple of little mini scenes with Narcellus, Tove, and Yavari, so we can kind of get everyone back on the same page. So to kind of keep it short, as I will let them mostly explain what happened in character, Narcellus managed to run into Tove and helped her come back to town, where they had a run-in with a certain NPC, and got themselves some free outfits, let's just say. And Narcellus might be known as a different name now, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Yavari went to the potion shop, where she also had a run-in with a very strange NPC, but found out that the fins could be used for making some water-breathing potions that the shopkeep agreed to make for her. I think didn't you sell the other ones to the other guy?
Yeah, I believe Yavari gave the healer 3 fins and then sold 3 fins.
Yeah, sold the rest of them.
Man.
Yeah, to this weirdo.
Wow.
Before he then decided that she was being a little sus and claiming to know the Mayor Jira, so he decided to bring her over to the barracks. So we are going to start there. So
With one of us in jail.
Thankfully,
Of
no.
course.
No, she just
It had to be Yavari.
Yeah, right. It's fine. It's fine. If I could have the right music playing, that would help. So, Arca, Yulia, and Taffy, you guys part way with Narcellus outside and head into the guardhouse. Inside there are kind of a myriad of people milling about in here. You see, men and women of all sorts, from humans to dragonborn to maybe a halfling, and what looks to be a triton over at one of the tables, biting into a raw piece of meat.
Nice.
And even a couple of elves are hanging out in here. You see there are members of the local militia, kind of dressed in very simple plate armor and a lot of blue cloth.
Real quick, Yai is having some technical difficulties.
Oh no, never mind. For some reason, it was very black on the top, but then I just started scrolling down, and suddenly everything appeared. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. The zoom on this map is kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. But yes, you see members of the local militia dressed in simple plate armor with lots of blue cloth to accent their armor as kind of Eastof's colors. And then you see members of what must be another regiment or something, as they are dressed, some of them are dressed head to toe in full plate armor of a very golden color, accented with lots of red and black. I think all of you would probably recognize gold, red, and black are the colors of Valgard, and the colors of the kingdom itself. So you can really only assume that these people probably come from the city itself, who have come here to help. But as you walk in, to your immediate left are a couple of tables set up in front of some bookshelves where a female elf sits. And as you come inside, she looks up and her face immediately scrunches as she kind of takes in your appearance, where you're covered in like blood, you're probably a little damp from the ride over, and it's probably a little rainy outside, and she sniffs as she looks at you all and says, "At a first glance, you don't look to be Eastoft residents. Why is it you all reek of fish?"
Just had a little seafood on the, come try and have us on the way over. But we dealt with it. It's fine. It's all good, Got a little violent there, but, Sahagan, am I right?
Oh yeah, they were a bit of a tricky bunch, and Yulia just kind of casually pulls out the tooth and kind of like flickers it around in their fingers like it's a coin.
The Sahuagin, yes. We've been hearing reports of them getting rather hostile towards some of our local fishermen, but that's aside, what are you three doing in here? Can I help you with something?
Kind of nudges Arca. It's like, you got the letter right.
This letter is just... Arca... Wait, let me grab stuff in there. Walked over and just straight up hands her the letter.
Oh no, she's right here.
Oh, whoops.
Arca hands the letter to this guard.
Random guard, he's like, what?
This random guy just trying to like sharpen his sword, and he's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
You know what to do with this, right?
She'll take the letter and look at it for a moment before looking up at Arca, and her brows are still very much furrowed in confusion. Did someone send you? We weren't expecting very many people at the moment.
Yes, we were sent by the mayor of Drakemount.
Oh, and immediately, like, recognition kind of comes over her. Ah, good. Yes, General Faldvin has been waiting for this someone to arrive from Drakemount. I'm concerned as to why the captain is not present with you. Is he all right? You speak of Sahuagin. I hope something did not happen to him.
He's fine. We were told something about a prison breakout that he had to deal with instead. Don't know what that's about, but yeah.
Taffy just shoots a glance off to the side.
Breakouts. Talk about incompetent. Regardless, let me get this to General, as I am sure he will be much anxious to see what the mayor has to say. Oh, and my name is Saifa, by the way. It is a pleasure to meet you all. She says that a bit confused, like very uncertain.
Sweet. Good to meet you too, Saifa.
Okay, well you all just wait here, and she'll she hasn't opened the letter or anything. She goes over to the side where there are a pair of very decorated doors, or very nicely painted doors. And she gives a small knock upon it. And you guys can vaguely hear a voice from within call, "Come in." And she will open the door and slip on inside and leave you guys for the moment. In the meantime, as she goes in there, an elf approaches you guys that have been kind of sitting at the edge of the dining tables on the far side of the room. From the looks of him, he is very young. Probably, you would assume, maybe closer to Narcellus's age than the age of the elf that you just saw. He's got orange hair pulled back and a lot of leather armor attached to him, and he decides to come wander his way over to Yulia and Arca, and he says, "Excuse me?"
You're excused?
You're excused.
Jesus.
Julia kind of chuckles, but it's like, yes, can we help you?
Oh, I couldn't help but to overhear that you guys were speaking about Captain Vontis. Did you get to, fight alongside him with, the Sahuagin or something? I've heard, lots of cool things about him. This is my, first time out of the city, so I'm really nervous.
We didn't fight with him, per se. We had, an interaction. We'll call it.
You punched me in the beak.
Yes, that!
He punched you! Wow, and you survived?
You survived!
It's more like he survived me instead of you survived.
Man, you must be, the strongest bird ever.
Oh,
Arca, silently, his feathers puff up in pride.
Oh, where's my manners? My name's Legan, by the way. It's real nice to meet you guys.
It's very nice. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, good. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Guys, we found our fanboy.
That's a Captain Bumkiss fanboy there.
Oh my god.
Not for long. We're gonna
Captain Brown Nose Bumpkiss.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be ours after the end of the day.
Yeah, for real. So as you guys are speaking with the elf, the doors that she'd walked through open once more, and Sypha comes walking out, and shortly behind her comes another figure. This man is another elf. He is tall with fair skin and emerald green eyes, and he's wearing armor that's almost similar in design to something some of the ones in full plate are wearing, but much more decorative, with a circlet resting on his forehead that kind of sets him apart. Not to mention the way that he walks is very straight and proper, with his hands folded behind his back. And as soon as he exits the room, everyone in the room kind of stands at attention and give him this salute with their right hand turns into a claw that they put over their heart, as all in unison everyone says, "General, sir." And he doesn't really pay much mind to everyone in the room other than you three, as he slowly walks over towards you, and this guy's just gonna get out of his way.
It's like, whoa!
And he'll
The general walks in, he immediately moves.
yeah, basically.
He said, absolutely not.
He walks over with Sypha close behind. Getting a closer look at him, you can see there's this really nasty burn scar over his left eye, and another one over his lip. And the look in his eyes is one of trying to kind of get a feel for all of you by just looking at you. It's a little unsettling. It's like he's staring right down into your soul or something.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And he's holding the missive in his hand, which he's opened, and he looks from it to the three of you and says, "So, Mayor Jira thinks sending some green-nosed adventurers will replace that of trained militia."
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, if you really think about it, trained militia are also green ones. Everyone starts somewhere.
I know that's right.
Yes, they do. But I was expecting those of experience to come and help with this problem of ours. And he'll kind of look down at the note again, not looking up at you guys, as he says, I am not wont to trust adventurers, but the mayor did speak rather highly of all of you. So I would hear it from yourselves why it is I should trust you with such a delicate situation. And right as he says this, the door opens, and in comes Yavari. Probably being escorted along by the Dragonborn earlier, who had kind of given Narcellis a hard time, as she was traded off from the weird guy that she ran into at first. And as they enter the room, the Dragonborn kind of has like one hand on your back just to make sure that you're not like gonna go running out the door. And then he sees the general and just stops and seems to kind of forget what it was he was doing.
Yavari like looks over at the group and waves.
Hey!
Taffy just has this concerned look on his face, like, oh no.
Listen. I may have mixed my words up a little bit, but like, you have to know the full story to understand why I'm being escorted to the general.
Slowly buries his face into his paws.
Yulia just giving the Dragonborn the stink eye.
The Dragonborn, as Yavari goes to join her friends, just gives a quick clawed salute to the general before he just hurries out the door. General Faldvin, meanwhile, kind of looks over at Yavari and looks at something down at the note he's holding and says, I take it she is with you three, then?
Yes!
And you'd be accurate.
Erica silently nods.
Yeah, these are all my pals.
Doesn't care.
Yavari reaches over and pats Taffy on the shoulder. What's up, buddy?
Hey, friend. What you been up to?
Friend derogatory.
Mm.
Awful.
Mm.
Mhm.
And the general will look between all of you. He says, from what I gather from Mayor Shira's note, this is not your entire party. I am also not one to want to repeat myself, so why don't you all go upstairs and freshen up, as you smell awful.
And
Get some
sure.
rest.
Thank you. We most absolutely appreciate it. Don't worry. We will make sure that we stay in line and help resolve this situation as quickly as possible so that we can all get back to more important things, as I'm sure you're wanting to do.
Oh yes, the last thing I want to be doing is being here dealing with this. But
How charming.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, upstairs you said? Where's the stairs?
Please go before I change my mind. And he'll point to the left where there is an open doorway into what would lead up to a staircase up to the second floor. If you all would like to go there.
He's kind of motioning to like get everyone's like, all right, let's go, come on, let's go.
As we're walking, Yulia kind of leans in close to Tabby's like, what's got you so nervous?
Listen, I work for a guild. I do not need this bad reputation. If I get pegged as a criminal, it's gonna be a real bad time for me. I've already had to change my name a couple of times already. Do you think? Do you think?
Come
Candy's my
come
real name?
again?
What?
Oh my gosh.
So he's like, we'll talk about this later. Come on, just let's get out of his hair before he gets mad.
Yeah, fine.
Excellent. So you all head upstairs.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'm just gonna hold on. I'm gonna just take all of your tokens.
Nice.
Just zip us up there.
Yeah. Zoop.
Oh,
So you
Bye-bye.
go upstairs. Yeah, there you all go. Right, you guys can see all this, right? You want to make sure
Yeah.
you did that right. Cool.
no, I didn't.
Excellent. So yes, you go upstairs, and it leads into a rather large room where a lot of cots are set up, as you would assume, for the local militia for them to sleep between their shifts. It's pretty much empty aside from there seems to be a human man in some plate armor moving a few crates and boxes around. And one of the beds at the very end is occupied by what appears to be a high elf, but she is fast asleep and snoring lightly, so she probably won't bother you guys. And just for the sake of it, we're gonna pretend there's like a door over here that maybe goes to some showers or something, so y'all can be not stinky. So, you know, it's great. So if you guys would like to take the time to freshen up and not be covered in fish anymore.
That would
Yes,
be
he's-
nice.
Absolutely.
Evidence of a hard day's work.
I may need a little extra time to get the blood off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But great. So yep, you guys go ahead and we'll say you all take your turns, you know, taking lovely hot showers, maybe more like warm, but you know, it's fine. Better than freezing cold. And eventually you all come back into this room feeling refreshed and much better, after getting some time to clean up. And you know, what would you guys like to do? Yavari has rejoined you, so she might have something to share.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like Yuvari immediately notices that our drow friend is not around. So she kind of just looks around and goes, so where's Narshalis? And where's Toe, for the matter of that fact? Y'all were up to something?
Julia rolls their. Sorry.
No, you good.
Julia kind of rolls her eyes. It's like, that dragonborn that walked you in? Yeah, he's the reason we kind of got split up.
Oh, that douchebag? Yeah.
I was like, listen,
That's
I
a
don't like
little
him
too
either.
loudly, but it's
Mm-hmm.
If we could just ignore him and keep him off of us for until we're done with this, that'd be baller. Last thing we need to start is to start a fight with anyone who's from the kingdom itself, from Valgard. That could be a real. We
Why
have to
not
go
start-
there.
Alright, no starting fights, but we will finish them, as
Oh.
you know.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. Thank
about-
you, Yavari.
Arca cracks his knuckles.
Oh my god. Tuffy's like, he's just scratching his head like, all right, okay. Well, maybe we just don't ever see him again. Hopefully we'll never have to deal with him ever again. We'll just be sent, deal with some pie, just mumbling to himself as he goes over and like inspects whatever books there are over here. He does kind of talk over his shoulder though. Is like, so Yavari, how was the potions? Did you find what you needed?
Yeah, surprisingly, on the way, I got stopped by this very strange individual, who just, I don't even know how to describe him. He was just so intense. But he joined me at the healer's shop, and I figured out what we could do with the fins, and it turns out we can make water like blah 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 blah.
Potions of blah blah blah.
Yeah, potions of blah blah blah. Articulation is what I need. Breathing underwater type of potions from the fins, and this rather intense and flirty gentleman decided that he wanted to buy 3 of my fins off of me and gave me a platinum coin for it.
Taffy just stops and slow turns like, platinum?
Platinum. I was like, you know what? Again? I'm not gonna. Scammed. I was like, you know, I wasn't gonna turn down free money for fins I kind of took from you guys anyway, so it's fine.
Are fins that rare?
I mean, they're not easily obtained, I don't think, but. And then he just started asking me like all these questions about the party, what we were doing here,
well, that's not
blah
great.
blah blah. And I was like, hey, I'm not a snitch, all right? I'm not gonna do that to y'all. So yeah. And he also happens to be a paladin in the Knight's Guard. You know what? So it's fine. It's fine.
Did you happen to catch his name?
It was a long one. I think I just call him Ari for some reason. Ari. Yeah, Ari. And, and then he asked me about our dear captain and our mission here specifically, and I was a little sketched out, so I said, not today. Not today. And then he got suspicious and said, okay, I'm taking you in. We're going to have a little chat. So.
Huh?
What is with this town?
But the moral of the story is like, I'm not a snitch.
Well, we appreciate that. So I'm guessing he handed you over to our guard captain friend.
Yes. He did. And now here we are.
Huh.
It's just aw.
Yeah.
Well, that is weird. I'm guessing we're kind of getting a reputation attached to us, but I don't care. Anyway, moves over to bed.
He's just like, I'm taking a nap.
Yulia looks at Yavari. Did you happen to see any of those wanted posters of us while you were walking around, like the ones in Drakebound?
No, actually. I was kind of being distracted by the guard, the paladin that I was talking about. He, if you ever meet him, you will know. He's a very distracting individual. But no. I walked directly to the healer shop.
I guess no one really knows us by face then, so that's a good sign at least. Except this guy who seems to know a little bit too much about us, which I do not like.
Yeah. Yavari nods, yeah. It's very, very suspicious, which is why I didn't say anything.
You didn't happen to see Marshalis when you... Oh, wait, did you just ask that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yavari was like, hey, where's my drow friend?
Yeah.
Where'd he run off to?
I was reading my
You're
notes. I'm trying to match things up over here.
We haven't seen Nargelis.
Are there any windows up here?
Yeah, there's probably a few of them. You know, I think on the side of the room you're on, mostly looks out over the town. And then the other side looks to be mostly the wall and back towards the docks where Poe took you guys.
Okay. I want to do a quick scan of the town to see if I can pick out Nargelis or like Tove, anyone I recognize.
Yeah, feel free to roll perception.
Perception. PPP. Perception. There it is. Oh. Excellent. What a start.
So you look out through one of the windows and, you know, it's cloudy, it's kind of drizzling outside, so it's already a little hard to see. And it doesn't help, most of your view of the town is kind of obscured by a rather large manor that's looming not all that far from the barracks. But unfortunately, no, you see no sign of Tove or Nargelis.
Okay, so yeah, Taffy, that's unfortunate. Taffy just kind of looks around. He doesn't see anything. He just, you know, kind of leans on the windowsill, scratching his chin. Takes that toothpick he had and just kind of chews on it a bit.
Should we go out looking for them?
I don't know if they'll let us just wander around town. I mean, they might. I kind of feel like we're... I suppose, that's true.
It didn't sound like we're confined in here. We were just basically told, hey, just clean up.
I'm concerned it was more of an implication than a direct command.
Details.
Yeah, knowing that guy, Mr. Charming downstairs.
Yeah.
Seems like you won't let us leave.
It does me a heckin' concern. Just a little bit. You know, we gotta... Ugh, I just want to deal with this pirate problem and go home. I would like to find Nargelis and Tove, though, before we make any moves.
Well, if we're not expected to go out looking for them, then are they?
That's also a good question. I suppose we could go and ask.
Alright, so you guys, so you're gonna head downstairs? And...
Just real quick, at a glance, what kind of books do they keep up here?
Really nothing all that out of the ordinary. You see there's like quite a few books about like predicting the weather to probably help with farming or fishing. There's a few books about sea life here as well. Even like maybe a couple of training manuals or about how to, you see one about setting up targets practice for dummies or something like that. Really nothing all that unusual.
The book on sea life in the area, Taffy's gonna pick that up and he kind of glances, you know, he kind of walks over, he picks it up like he's interested in reading it, and he's glancing over. Are either of these two people currently watching Taffy? Is he asleep or something?
I would say the high elf over here in the bed, she is asleep. And the guard over here was just kind of moving some stuff around, but he does, as you're looking over, heads downstairs.
Okay. So Taffy kind of, I'll call it, shrugs his eyebrows a little bit, you know, raises them up and down a little bit, and then he kind of takes the book on the wildlife and kind of shoves it into his under his cloak.
Shoplifting.
Reputation as a criminal. Deals.
Right.
I'll return it. I'm just gonna borrow it for a little bit.
Borrow it and never return it. Like a library book.
Like they'd ever even know. What guard is gonna read about the local wildlife?
You never know.
Listen. It's important, trust me.
Well, while you guys debate on what you're doing and are contemplating the best way to steal a book, the outside, Tove and Narcellis, it's been a little while. You know, you guys have finished up what you were doing and had hurried away to the barracks. As Narcellis, you informed Tove that that is where the rest of the party had gone. And as you make your way back over there, you probably, you pause at the entrance as you might want to look around or whatnot, but I'll, let you guys go ahead and decide what you're doing.
I'll go first.
Okay. Cool. Tove.
Tove.
Can can
Tove check and see if there's any guards or anybody who would kind of be a little suspicious of Narcellis around? Is there anybody around there?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few people milling about. You see, again, there's mostly a lot of local militia out here dressed in the simple plate mail and the blues. And you see there's a few walking around in the full plate mail of gold, red, and black. No one seems to be paying you guys any attention at the moment.
We're blending in.
Yeah, no one seems to be really looking in your direction quite yet.
All right. So Tove is going to turn to Narcellis and say, "Okay, we should probably go in there, but are you okay with going in there? I mean, going in here? Or are you worried something's gonna happen?"
He's already sort of he's taken the makeshift blindfold off of his eyes at this point, and he's just sort of keeping one hand over them to shield them from the sun. And he's like, "Yes, it's fine. Let's just go in and get them out." And he trails off from Tove. "You're not really going to some party with that guy, are you?"
Oh my god.
Huh?
I mean, he's having a gown made for me. How am I supposed to say no to him?
He's an elf!
Well, yes, he's an elf, but he's also an elf lord. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to turn down an invitation. And you know what? It might be good if we get him on our side. Maybe things will be a little bit easier for you. Did you think about that?
He helped you dress me like a circus clown.
I don't think you look like a circus clown. I mean, and Hook kind of looks him over. I don't know if I would have necessarily chosen that color palette, but it really doesn't look that bad.
I can't imagine a scenario where this is going to go over well with anyone in our party. Do you know what Yavari is going to say to you? Knowing that you're going to be trouncing around some manor with this... Oh god, what was he again?
An elf lord, right?
Ridiculous. Either way, let's get in and get them out, and I guess get you to a ball.
Alright.
Guess they're gonna head inside, I guess.
Alright, so you guys, head on inside into the courtyard, and, a couple of people kind of look over at you for a moment, but no one comes to bother you at the moment. Actually, Nurse Shellis, are you still pretending to be blind?
No, he put that up.
Okay, just checking.
It works
you guys,
so well.
Right? So yeah, you guys walk in. But yeah, really no one tries to stop you or question you. As you kind of notice, a lot of the guard and militia, they're kind of like speaking in little close-knit groups. Like there's like exciting or weird news going around that they're sharing with one another. But regardless, you make it into the guardhouse proper as I drag your new tokens on here. Ooh, woo.
Oh, whoa.
And yeah, as you guys enter, of course, you are greeted with the same sight that your party was earlier. You know, there are many of the local militia and the what you assume to be the military from Valgard is here, as since the general is here himself, makes sense that they would be here with him. And of course, to your left are the desks set up where the wood elf Sypha sits. You don't know her name yet, but it's fine. And as the door opens, she looks up from a book she had been writing in and gives you both odd looks. First she looks at Tove and she thinks, okay, that's strange. And then she looks at Nurse Shellis.
Wow. Oh boy.
And she just stares for a long moment before blinking and saying, excuse me, can I help you two with something?
But we didn't order any entertainment.
Well, we didn't order a bunch of clowns.
Narcellus will place one hand on his hip and will say, well, what do you know? They're not in here. Now what do you want,
Tove? And Tove looks over at the elf and says, we were actually looking for some friends of ours. They're from Drake Mound, and they came here at the request of the mayor. Have you happened to see them? One's kind of like a bird-looking guy, and then two tieflings. Oh, and then Taffy. You couldn't miss Taffy.
Then there's Taffy. I am a Taffy.
Oh,
what of a kind.
Yes, your friends came in earlier. I believe they're still upstairs if you would like to go and join them. I'm sure the general is finishing up a few things, but then I'm sure he would like to discuss our situation with all of you once you are ready.
Right, that sounds good. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
While being dragged upstairs by Tove, he's going to make very uncomfortable eye contact with the elf behind the counter.
She'll just stare right back at him.
He expected that.
Staring contest.
Like, his eyes do not leave hers until he is behind the wall.
Awful. She just watches him go. Yeah, then you guys come upstairs and you see immediately your friends are here. The whole gang's back together.
Ted's like, oh, well, that was easy. And then he stops for a second. He looks at the outfits. He's like, you know, if you're gonna go get outfits, you could have invited us.
Marcellus will immediately stalk forward like, look, you're lucky enough that it was this and not some dress in the corner of that barn.
Oh, this is a story I must hear. He just plops down on the bed.
Marcellus will look at Tove and sort of make this sort of, what do you call it, like a flouncing gesture with his hand. He'll say, well, do you mind then if I regale them with this tale, my lady?
Oh, shut up! I mean, do you want to tell it, or I can tell it?
Oh no, I would really like to tell
Okay.
So Narcellus will sort of prop himself up against the wall as though he's going to be acting out a scene. And he says, "So allow me to regale you all with the tale of our lovely Tove and her gallant knight, who paid for her lovely outfit and has made sure that she will be joining him this week at some lavish manor party."
Taffy just whistles.
Damn, Tove.
Moving
5
on in the
minutes in this
world.
town and you're already shagging up with some elf lord.
So Narcellus will say, "First, we decided, or I suppose I should say that Tove decided it would be a good idea to try to disguise me. So here I am in Aket's clothing. And,
well, you're not very well disguised, I'm not gonna lie.
Narcellus says, "Yes, I understand that." And he sort of bites it out and, like, hits the spear he's holding on the floor and then says, "As I was saying, though, then she decided not only was I going to pretend to be blind, but that my name was Yarn."
Very good name! It's a very good name! I'm expecting.
Yes, no one would expect the colorfully rainbow-dressed man, blind man named Yarn.
I'll have to make a note of
The
that.
yarn, but
an interesting pen name, but I think we can work with that.
Narcellus goes, "Anyway, so this fool that has apparently fallen head over heels in love with Tove, or I suspect anything that walks on two legs with how he acted, decided to fork over 4 platinum pieces in order to pay for this wonderful ensemble you see on Dear Tove. God, what was his name again? It's so obnoxious."
Kind of like his gaze slowly travels from Tove and Narcellus to Yavari.
What his name happened to be Ari something. He said a very long name.
Narcellus points at Tove. "He's your boyfriend. What's his name?"
Wait, Bayla, look at your DM.
Okay.
Oh no. Tove has to think about it.
It's so long she has to work out all the syllables in her head.
Yeah, you know that, like all of his titles and.
It's really not Tove. It's
Intelligent something.
It's my dyslexic ass. That's what it is.
It's all good. You're fine.
This is a Daenerys Targaryen scenario where the list of titles is like a full page long.
Might as well be.
No, but Tove is going to, at that gesture, is going to kind of fling herself down onto one of the cots.
Oh my god.
And be like, "Runarian. His name was Runarian, and he had the most beautiful eyes."
Pretty boy? You're talking about pretty boy.
So
Yeah,
kind of works. Tove like lifts her head up and says, "You met him too? Isn't he wonderful?"
Yeah, I'll
He's
be right back, guys.
something.
Sorry. Me and Bale will be right back.
Something.
Yeah, he's something. He paid 1 platinum piece for 3 of my fins, and I was like, okay. Did he obsessively flirt over you too? Oh,
I wouldn't say it was obsessive. I think it was warranted.
Okay, but
Yeah.
did you flirt back?
And Tobe's gonna kind of like look over at Yulia and be like, "So when did you guys get so interested in my love life?"
Taffy's 1,000 yards staring at the ceiling. I'm gonna die in this town.
Well,
I
it
mean,
looks like he has his hands in a lot of pies. If you get my meaning, so
I mean,
pretty
you
boy with
kind of
lots of platinum spend.
y'all just kind of just waltz in here with this fantastical story about this man. But the other question I have is, Tove, do you need help with your hair for this ball? Because I have a couple of bobby pins in my bag, and I know how to do some very nice updos.
And at this point, Tove is kind of like, she's flipped over to her stomach and has like her head in her hands, and she's like, I might have to take you up on that offer when the time comes.
Oh my god.
When is this ball?
And it's been a couple of days. So, I mean, plenty of time to deal with the pirates, and, you know, still have time to go to the ball.
Ah. Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh.
Julia puts a hand to their chin. I wonder if I can maybe sneak my way in, or maybe persuade him to let me play. I want to see what this is.
Do you,
Yavari's just scratching the back of her head. She's like, okay. Alright. Pretty boy got the moves, I guess.
pretty boy got the moves.
Ew. Oh,
Scratching his chin.
yeah.
Pulls out his little book, starts making some notes, does some scribbling,
Doing a note taking.
doing a note taking. Like, well, if y'all really want to go, I could probably talk us into getting in there. Maybe if I get into the security contractor. You know, balls are loaded with rich people with too much money, not enough sense. Can probably convince one of them that I could, lock down the palace or wherever they're having this place, as it were, and kind of get you guys in as either staff or let you in, or we can get some invites, as it were. He kind of does little quotes with it when he says invites.
I've always wanted to play for a Lord's Ball, maybe on something of a bucket list of mine.
Well, I'll be sure to ask him next time I see him.
Yeah, ask your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend. I only knew him for like maybe 30 minutes.
Oh no, that sounds
My
plenty of time for
boyfriend
a
kicks
ward.
my feet, twirls my hair, throws myself onto a bed.
Oh my god.
It's like, guys, no, he's not my boyfriend.
Oh.
It's gonna be a refrain.
Anyway, what's going on with you guys? The elf downstairs told us about the general. Are we supposed to be meeting with him? Did you guys already meet him?
We did. He told us to freshen up and rest up here. We should probably come up with a plan to deal with these pirates, which means we might want to start asking some questions about how many there are, where they are, what they're doing, that sort of thing.
Of course, we're gonna need to know the situation. What was the general's name again? Did anybody happen to catch that?
Uh-oh.
I can give it to you guys if you need it.
Hey, did we have a name, or did we all just collectively forget?
His name's just General.
General?
General.
General.
No, I believe Mayor Jira probably mentioned him at one point, and some of you would know his name living within the kingdom. But his name is General Faldvin.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Faldvin. Mm-hmm.
Baldwin.
Oh, I know that guy. Well, I've heard of him. He has quite the reputation.
He does he?
Yes. He fought, in the Dark War, against the Drow, and she kind of looks into her hands as she says this, not trying to make eye contact with Jonas. And apparently he's very skilled and did a lot in making Layrad safe again. My mother used to tell us stories to help us sleep, which probably wasn't the best idea, telling war stories to children. But they say he's done some pretty crazy things.
Marcellus is gonna tip forward a little bit and he's gonna say, what she means to say is he's a drow murderer.
He has such a reputation for being charming.
Taffy has excused himself out of that conversation.
Fair choice.
Since Yulia did spend some time in Valgard, is there a chance I could roll a history check to see if they know any extra information that would have been probably more local rumors about him?
I'm gonna say no, only because pretty much what Tove said is really all most people know about him.
Oh, okay.
He fought in the Dark War, which would have been a fairly long time ago. I have to think back to the timeline, but I think we were gonna set that back a couple hundred years from present. So he's old. Been around a while, but here, give me one moment, guys, if you want to just keep talking amidst yourselves here.
Gotcha. So Taffy he's pulled out his that book. Now that they're not going anywhere, he's like, okay, well, I'll just pull this up, and he's flipping through it, looking at stuff, and he kind of pitches out the question. Well, not to detract from the conversation, but I was wondering, does anyone have any skills or knowledge about boats? Specifically in how we could maybe, I don't know, sink them or sneak aboard them, or if they, know the different types of boats. I imagine these pirates, if I remember correctly, they were currently blockading the port, were they not?
Yes. I don't have any knowledge on boats. I guess they're made of wood mostly, right? You could burn them?
We could, but if their crews are sufficient enough, they could probably set out fires before, they do any lasting damage.
Don't you two think that we should probably find out why they're in the port before we start burning things down?
Ours has a point.
Suppose that's fair enough. But, they do be pirates. I've never heard
and
of...
I do be a drow. What's the point? He's just kind of glaring at that.
He just kind of shrugs, and he's like, okay, geez.
I mean, the best way to sink a ship is to put a hole in basically close enough to the water, and you can't really stop it from filling up and sinking.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Do we have any idea of how we would talk to the pirates? I guess we could just get on board their ship.
That doesn't. Well, I mean, maybe we should talk to the general first and figure out what he knows, because I'm sure he has a lot more information than most people.
Yeah,
and then...
they must have a line of communication or something, because they're mad they're not getting paid or whatever. So must have a line of communication to try to, like, if they're basically holding Tad hostage.
It doesn't look like they've, like, at least from what I've seen, raided or, fired their cannons at anything. So
it's probably just an empty threat, as Tove suggests.
So, as you all are sitting here discussing, what might be going on, you hear footsteps from the stairs, and coming up the stairs is Sytha from the desks up front, and she wanders in and kind of sees all of you are here as she places her hands behind her back and gives a curt nod, doing her best to try to not to look at Narcellus directly next to her. As she says, if you all are ready, the general would like to speak to you all downstairs on the matter of the pirates just outside of town.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, that's convenient. Well timed. And he just hops off bed.
Let's go get some answers then.
Yes, let's.
Excellent. All right, and she will... Oh, sorry?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were saying something else. But all right, good. Then she will lead you all downstairs, and I'm just gonna yoink.
Yoink.
Feel free to place yourselves wherever. But yeah, she will lead you downstairs where the general is standing waiting for you all, with his, very much his air of authority as he stands straight with his head held high. Oh, hello, Narcellus.
That's fine.
Just right on top of him.
God.
Established dominance.
As he should.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna move some of these guys out of the way, not on the table. There we go. But yeah, so as you all come downstairs, the general will kind of look between you all for a moment before he will speak up. Let us begin then with proper introductions. For any of those who may not know amidst your group, I am General Faldvin Ralafiriel, and this is Sytha, as he motions to the elf next to him. She is one of my most trusted wardens, and the one who oversees this area of the kingdom. She, along with the local militia and those of Kareth's blades that I brought with me from Valgard, have teamed up in order to face this group of pirates threatening the townsfolk. We have been at a rather unfortunate stalemate, and I seek to end this peacefully in whatever way we can. And I would like to know the names of these adventurers that will be helping us. And as he looks over all of you, his eyes are absolutely settling a lot on Narcellus, and there's just I'll look.
Oh, he's returning the look.
Established dominant.
You can feel the tension in the air.
Spicy.
So if anyone would like to introduce themselves first.
Happy's gonna wait a second. Just in
Yavari. Yavari steps forward, kind of breaking the line of sight between the general and Nars, kind of like a little bit protective, and goes, "I'm Yavari. Just Yavari."
He will give a nod to her of acknowledgement as she gives her name.
Kind of glaring at him. Just a little bit.
He will hold a rather stoic expression upon his face, but he does probably have a very bad case of resting bitch face, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yulia. Oh, does Arco want to go first next?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, then Yulia will step up next to Yavari, give kind of a bow, try to put on their most charming, polite smile, and just go, "I am Yulia, a traveling bard."
And Arca steps up and just nods. Arca.
Arca.
The general will kind of look from Taffy to Tove and Nershellus around Yavari's shoulder with a quirked eyebrow.
Kind of motions to Tove, like, go.
Go.
with his head.
And Tove gives a slight wave from where she's standing besides Narshellus and says, "I'm Tove of Drake Mound."
And Marcellus is going to very slowly and calmly step forward and going to stand in line with the others. He's going to lift his head up and he's going to say, "Prince Narshellus Nakuvir."
And immediately you can see the two tense up, mostly Faldvin, and then Scytha kind of tenses at him, his mood suddenly shifting. And he will step up to Narshellus and...
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Oh boy.
I can't do this today.
And he's... God, I think he's hardly taller than Narshellus is.
Yeah, he's about 5 inches tall.
Oh, who? Faldvin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, I wasn't sure.
So angry.
Yeah, Faldvin steps up, like, right up to him as he peers down at him with a narrow gaze. And he says, "I was not aware your house had a half-elf from your mother. Intriguing."
He's going to stand very still when he gets close to him, but he doesn't back off, and instead he sort of lifts his head up so that it's at an angle and just stares. And when he says half-elf, like his mouth just curls into this little snide little smile, and he's like, "Well, then it should be no problem. I've heard that your company dislikes drow in your presence. But what about half-elf?"
And Faldvin will roll his shoulders, as he perhaps would rather be doing something else at the moment, but he refrains himself and simply gives a huff as he says, "The only reason I will tolerate your presence is simply because of Mayor Jira. Had it not been for that, I would have had you kicked out of here earlier this day."
Oh, I'm sure you
he'll just kind of like just glare down at Narcellis for a moment before he takes a small breath and just steps back to where he was beside Scytha. And then he will cast his gaze over to Taffy, who had been fairly quiet in the back there, as he says, "What is your name, Tabaxi?"
He's got, like, he's scratching his chin like, wow, I have gotten involved. All right, well. And then he kind of snaps, like, his attention to the general the second he realizes being, like, yes, excuse me, pardon me. My name is Taffy, and I am a representative of the Padlock Guild. I don't know if you've heard of our guild services, but I'm here to offer my expertise to the party.
Very well. I cannot say I am very familiar. I believe someone in the nobility of Valgard is obsessed with your guild, but regardless. And he'll let out a deep sigh as he tries to, like, relax the tension in his shoulders, and Scytha the whole time has been kind of just giving him a side eye, you know, as she's been debating whether she needs to step in and stop him for anything or not. But he, you know, he relaxes some as he'll continue. Well, I would say it is a pleasure, but I am not so sure of that now. Regardless, I will accept Mayor Jira's recommendation to allow you all to help. If you have any questions about this situation, now would be the time to ask.
Yulia.
Oh, sorry. He's paying really close attention to seeing what everyone asks.
Yulia will go ahead and ask first. So how did this all start with the pirates? Why did they? I guess I don't know if there is even a known reason why they started attacking the townsfolk, but I guess we can start there. How did this all begin?
And Scytha is going to be the one who kind of pipes up about that. Well, they started this, almost a week ago. The pirates in question are actually a guild themselves, guild of mercenaries known as the Blacktails, led by Captain Blackmane himself. From what I have come to understand, asking the townsfolk after word reached my ears of what was going on, apparently Captain Blackmane and his crew are seeking higher compensation for their services of transporting goods from Eastoft directly to Arquette, as, thanks to the God's Eye, normally the only way to get here from anywhere else is either across land from Valgard or around the northern side of the continent. So I suppose this crew is looking for more pay due to the danger of their job.
Seems reasonable.
So, excuse me, I'm just, if I may, just to make sure that I've got this correct. They asked for higher pay, and then I assume they were denied. And then they decided to blockade an entire port?
Yes, that is correct. The Lord here refuses to pay what they want, so they have decided to keep anyone from being able to enter or exit, and have been threatening to shoot at the town should anyone try to stop them. Oh. Chat bubble? Where's it going? What's it
It's
doing?
going everywhere. What the chat bubble doing?
If I don't know if Taffy wanted to say anything real quick, and then we'll get to Narcellis there.
Gonna wait until after Narcellis.
Okay.
And Marcellus is going to tip his head up, and he's still looking directly at Paul, and he wants answers from him instead, especially because now he's pulled his rank card that no one else knew about. And he just sort of goes, and these pirates must then, and these pirates, as you call them, must then either get here with their cargo or trade their lives with God's Eye, is it? So they are claiming that they want more pay for this, what I'm assuming is an arduous task. The Lord is refusing to pay it. Why have you not forced him to do so?
And Foldvin will... At first, he just kind of gives Narcellus that look again, like... like he just does not want to deal with this right now. But he responds with, "Oh, if you wish to deal with Lord Gideon, be my guest. That is a headache I am not really in the mood for putting up with."
And Marcellus will just say, "Fine then, I will do your job for you." And he will put his hands behind him at that and just stand there.
General is not looking happy.
Ivar just standing there with her arms crossed over her chest, and she's thinking about it. And she's like, so, what Taffy said, summarizing it all, these pirates, she does like air quote, these guild members, I understand that a journey from Aket to wherever they need to go, here, I suppose, is actually quite a long and perilous journey, especially with the God's Eye in the middle of the route. So they weren't being fairly compensated?
According
Seems
to them.
like according to them, of course. So what you're telling me, and what I am interpreting, is that the lord of this town is screwing over the little people.
Oh, God.
Unionize.
Oh, were you going to say something like that?
No.
Oh, Narcellus is also going to type up one more time. He will ask a very, in a much less authoritative, much less kind of little shit tone. He's going to say, out of curiosity, they can't all be still holed up on their ship if the entire town is under curfew. Are they in town, or must we go to them?
Well, if they are not on their ship, which they are not all the time, they have taken over the tavern on the eastern side of the city, the Dented Rudder. If you go over there, usually Captain Blackmane is there with some of his closer crewmates, causing a ruckus, but he gives a shrug. There's little I can do when they are not actively harming someone, so we just allow them to have it in the hopes it keeps them a little more under control.
And at that, he'll look back at Tove like, weren't you invited to some weren't you invited to some gathering that that lord is hosting? Maybe we could use that to our advantage.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, the ball. We could use that to get to the Lord and talk to him. Good
now
idea.
all you have to do is remember his name.
Foldman will look between you two with a sudden sigh as he says, I swear to God.
Which one?
Dare I ask, what did this man look like who invited you to the party Lord Gideon is hosting?
Well, he was an elf, and he was quite tall, And, well, he was an elf and he was quite tall.
Pretty boy.
Do you remember what color his hair was?
Narcellus is gonna pipe up. Actually, it looked kind of like yours.
As he gives like a groaning sigh and like pinches the bridge of his nose as Scytha beside him has to like cover her mouth and coughs into it as she tries to keep herself from laughing. And General Faldvin will speak up. That would be my son, Runarian. Please do not mind him. He's eccentric.
Yeah, I can tell where he gets it from.
Marcellus just like brings the back of his hand up over his mouth and presses his lips in so that he does not laugh.
And Tove's just gonna say, well, I thought he was rather nice.
Uh-huh.
Well, he did pay for like 4 years worth of your wardrobe.
We're not talking about that right now.
He seems to be giving out his wealth pretty easily.
Jealous you didn't get more, Yavari?
As if I would take anything more from that. And then she wants to continue, but she doesn't because the man's father is standing right now. He was a very kind individual who happened to pay for my sins. So you know what? I'll give pretty boy a break.
General Faldvin will just like slowly shake his head. It's unsure if it's disappointment or something else, or maybe just a mixture of a lot of things. But he will say, well, unless there is anything else you wish to ask, that is about all the information I can give you. Currently, I have some men stationed at the docks to ensure the pirates do not get out of control. You need anything else from us, all you must do is ask.
Well, if you get any more news on what the pirates are doing, just we'd appreciate you letting us know.
Of course. What's Taffy got to say back there?
Oh, baby. So he kind of raises his hand. He's like, yes. So one question, kind of like peeking in between Narcellus and Yulia here. This black, what do you call them? The Blacktails, this mercenary group. Are they typically? Do they typically do trade, or do they just sort of a general kind of guild?
And he takes a moment to think about that, before kind of glancing to Sypha, expecting her to have the answer to that one. Which she does, and she says, well, as far as what I've gathered about this little guild, they seem to mostly be partnered with the Emerald Alliance, I believe. They help to run a lot of their goods across the Dread Tide, because of the God's Eye and all, and I suppose they're one of the few guilds who will go that way, considering the danger. Yeah, that is all I really know them for, is just their trade and transport.
I see. And has a representative of the Emerald Alliance shown up or made any indication that they will show up? Are they aware of the situation?
I have sent a letter to their headquarters in Abydos, but I have yet to hear a response. That was almost a week ago, so I would think something would have arrived by now, if not, hopefully soon.
Interesting. And I have a concern. a mercenary guild that handles in trade, if they're not being compensated, then typically they just cease trade. And considering they're the only people who actually do this sort of trade, stopping trade and exploring other ventures while Eastbound renegotiates and rethinks their let's say payment processes. But a whole full blockade seems a little extreme from a trading company. You don't happen to know if I don't know, the Lord happens to have any kind of, let's say, beef with the Emerald Alliance, or do they seem to have issues with the Kingdom of Drakebound or not?
So glad Tappy has a brain.
Taffy has the one brain cell.
Thank you, Taffy.
If he didn't, he'd be dead. I mean, listen, I already made a really bad blunder breaking out people from jail. All right, I gotta balance the karma out somehow.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, as you ask that, Sypha hums before she gives a shake of her head. Not that. Or wait, hold on. So what exactly did you ask again? I already lost it. I'm so sorry.
So to summarize, basically, does the Emerald Alliance have any beef with Drake, or not sure, Valgar, the kingdom itself, or with Eastbound specifically, or are they just like on rocky terms?
None that I am aware of. But if you, Tove there, if you have been invited to Lord Gideon's party, I suppose it would be a good opportunity to speak with the Lord himself and see if maybe something is going on. I haven't really been able to get a word in with him, as he has been holding himself up in his manor since we have arrived.
Huh. All right, fair enough. I don't have any other questions at the moment. Thank you very much, by the way. He gives his little customer service smile and, finger guns at the general and his assistant and kind of backs back up.
And Sytha will smile at him, and the general just kind of like gives a small roll of his eyes, looking very unamused.
I'll take it.
The chat bubble's out. Where's it going?
Where's it going?
I'll figure it out eventually.
Well, yeah, Yulia, if you'd like to speak up then and go ahead.
So then, if this is as much as we're going to get, then I guess the last thing that Yulia will ask, unless someone else has another question, but they will ask, since we are essentially taking the task over General Vantis, I almost said Bumkiss. What exactly would you have us do?
Well, my original plan was to have some backup to threaten the pirates out of Eastoft, as my attempts before have failed. Though I take that more into account that Blackmane is insufferable to deal with. Really, at this point, I am seeking someone to help come up with other ideas I have not yet explored. As I said, we have tried threatening them. We tried to send another ship out to theirs, and that quickly turned sour. At this point, I am just ensuring they do not disturb the peace of the rest of the city before we can get them moved out.
I think that's something we can handle. And Yulia kind of has this almost plotting smile, even though they have no idea exactly how they're going to do it. They're more excited about the prospect of hacking stuff up.
Yes. And Narcellis, if you'd like to go ahead.
He's going to kind of put his hands together and say, I would like to put forward the idea that we go and speak to Blackmane first. We can deal with the Lord later, but first we should at least hear both sides of the story before Fuck, I can't speak. We should at least hear both sides of the story before we make our first move.
Yes. I would be interested in knowing much more than what you're telling us.
And
Fair
Marcellus will
enough.
just kind of cough and be like, yeah,
Fair enough. As I said, you'll likely find him at the tavern on the east side of the town. The dented rudder is the one you are looking for.
And
Very
not really
odd.
waiting for the rest of their party, Narcellus is gonna turn and get the hell out of this elf's presence.
Fair enough. Oh, the door's over here.
Oh,
That's
is
fine.
it?
It's fine. It's over here.
Where,
Just
where
bust
Going
is
through
back
the wall.
upstairs.
That's fine. Oh, I didn't see that as a door. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You just go through the wall, Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, does everyone then follow Narcellus out, as you've pretty much effectively been dismissed by the general?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yuzari's
Yeah.
ready to leave.
Yeah. I'll leave it.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, then you all will head out of the guardhouse and back out into Eastoft proper. And then this is where we are going to take a short 10-minute break.
Oh baby.
So if everyone would like to get up, get some drinks, get refreshed, and then we will return shortly to go and speak to Captain Blackmane and his crew.
Oh boy.
Yay.
Yay. See you guys soon.
All right, see ya.
I've got a plan, and it involves pirates' dice. Oh no. I don't know. I guess we'll see how grumpy the pirate is. Oh no. Don't worry, it's just pirates' dice. It'll be fine. We can play pirates' dice. Watch, I'm gonna say pirates' dice. No one's gonna know how to play pirates' dice. You could try to drink the entire crew under the table. That was my backup plan, was basically have Arca drink the pirate crew under the table. Yeah, liar's dice. Liar's dice, pirate's dice. Lord of the Whispers was hilarious. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a beverage, and I'll be right back. I am back. Oh, did chat die? Chat's dead. Mostly it was just snarking at the general. We learned. What did we learn? Yavari. So Yavari sold her fins, those Sahagan fins, for a platinum to the Lord, and so the son, the general's son, the Lord guy, who also apparently hit on Tove. Tove is like just infatuated with this dude, who got them both, Tove and Narshalis, a bunch of like new clothes, and invited Tove to a ball. Meanwhile, the rest of us were up in the guards' quarters, and I found a book, and I've got a plan. I found a book on, it was just like, general, like, tactics and random general stuff, but I found a book on the local aquatic wildlife. And I'm cooking up a plan. So I've pilfered that at the moment. I've got it just vibing in my inventory. I think something's up, though. Something's got to be up. Like, they should have just moved on. Like, typically, it's like, if your client doesn't pay you, there are other clients you can go trade for. Something's going on here. I think the Emerald Alliance is making some moves. Yeah, I didn't know that one. Apparently, Nars is a prince. That's new to me. I think the Emerald Alliance is trying to muscle in market control in Valgard. Or I might be overthinking this, and it's just a simple plot. It's a simple plot with a simple solution. I'm overblown. Like the Emerald Alliance wants to be the only trader of goods in the entire world, and they're trying to take over. It's the only blockade if you're trying to control trade supplies. Yeah, it's very strange, and they're using a mercenary guild to do it too. Now I get they're the only ones that are going to run goods through the route of the. I mean, there's other routes. Like, you don't have to. I mean, it's going to be faster, but you could go the safer route. Most shoot them, but otherwise, just go find other work. It's a lot of effort for a guild to hold a port, especially like a port like the kingdom is sending their own personal guards to go and deal with. Like, dang. Because that could be awful. Like, well, that's true. What supplies do they have? It's clearly a cover-up. Oh, it could be a cover-up. They may have been doing some shady drug stuff, and they're trying to cover it up. Like the Lord wants out or something like that. Because like this could damage their reputation. Let's think about it. Like, other ports are gonna be like, well, crap. We don't want to deal with the Emerald Alliance if they're gonna send mercenary guilds to do our trading. Then one day they're going to jack up the prices, we can't afford it, then what? They're going to blockade our town. That'd be awful. Like, that sort of thing, the Emerald Alliance should have, like, zipped over here very quickly, or sent a message or something. Like, if a guild operating under their banner on their behalf pulled something like this, it's like, oh crap. You think they'd, be out here negotiating for, like, either negotiating for the, fair pay, or like, listen, we're just gonna stop shipping to your town, or something. Like, and plus you'd think the Blacktails would have told the Emerald Alliance, like, well, we need more money. Hell, the Emerald Alliance should have negotiated the price change directly. Like, the Blacktail shouldn't have gotten involved at all. They should have just basically been like, hey, Emerald Alliance, we're not getting compensated fairly. And the Emerald Alliance should have showed up and be like, hey, we need to jack up prices. You can either pay up or you can find someone else to do your trading. The up and up, are they skeezy? Let me ask. Let's see if Starion... on something else, yeah. The only thing the only other thing I could think of is that Valgard, like the kingdom itself, is heckin', like they don't like the Emerald Alliance, and they're trying to muscle them out or something. And like, I don't know, they're like, they stopped the Emerald Alliance from intervening and escalated something. How long ago was the Regicide? Dang. Oh, I can't remember. It's been a couple of days, at least, since we got pinned for it. Yeah, that's true. If the Regicide happened around the same time, ooh, that'd be rough. That means that the who are the dudes? Isn't it, they're the Swift Cloaks, which means they're involved with the Swift Cloaks and the Thieves Guild and or the Crows. They're involved with the Crows and the Swift Cloaks. God, that would be awful. I'm making a freaking conspiracy web over here. I mean you, because I'm getting the heck out. I ain't about to trade in the Civil War. Ugh. That's awful. Ready to... Wow. Okay, they are on the up and up. I've deduced, I've sleuthed. So either the black mains are doing something, or like against the Emerald Alliance, which, God, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. All right, everyone's ready. We're gonna switch on back. Cover up for something could be.
He was like, okay,
We
it
back.
sounds like you're screwing a person out of little Billy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you all had a nice little break,
Yeah.
including chat.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Nice.
So Taffy
But
wants to
what?
pull the when we're ready to go. Taffy wants to pull everyone aside and kind of talk to him for a second. Yeah, we're just scheming. We're trying to figure. We're coming up with conspiracies over here.
Oh no.
Oh
Uh,
no.
But yeah, so once you guys, leave the barracks, you will kind of start heading over towards the east side of town. So yeah, if Taffy wants to pull everyone aside then into some little alleyway along the way.
Okay. So Taffy kind of says, one moment, guys, come over here for a second. And kind of shuffles them, looks around, make sure no one's can act, catch him in earshot and everything like that. So I was like, all right, I know we're about to talk to some pirates, get their side of the story. But I just want to give some people some information before we walk in there and start, let's say, possibly aggravating some pirates or mercenaries. So these guys, they're a merc group. They work for a collective known as the Emerald Alliance. And I find it a little strange. The Emerald Alliance is a very up and up, outstanding organization. They are like the trading organization you deal with when you want to move goods from point A to point B. If the Black Mains had a problem, they should have told the Emerald Alliance, and someone from the Emerald Alliance should have shown up. At least that makes sense to me. For instance, if the Padlock Guild gets not paid for their services, in a town, we don't go and blockade the town. We go and report it, and we, send a representative to deal with it. So we need to. If we could be a little cognizant, see if we can probe to see why the Captain. What's his nugget? Hold on, let me see. What did I write his name down? Captain. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. Captain Blackmane. See why he hasn't involved the Emerald Alliance. Possibly see if maybe he might be acting on his own, or if he has some vendetta against the town itself. I don't have a lot of working theories at the moment, but I've got a couple of hunches.
Seems
That
easy.
that seems like a fine plan to me.
Yavari just nods. Nods her head.
Hopefully, and I'm really hoping here, they're not involved with the dang crows and the Assassin's Guild. I'm getting a little nervous here. There could be a cover-up, and I'm really hoping it's not that.
Well,
As
we
if this
won't
whole
know until we go see.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as if the situation can't get any more messy. If this is somehow all connected, I don't know what we're gonna do.
We're gonna pretend we don't know who those other two guilds are, and we're gonna see if we can get these Black Mains to leave. Or Blacktails, my bad.
Right.
And Marcellus is going to kind of look at each of the heads, and he's going to say, "Alright, so is everyone caught up? Does anyone else have any other questions?"
Yeah, I didn't know you were a prince.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
We're gonna elaborate on that.
He's
My
gonna
lord.
He's gonna hold up both of his hands, especially when she says it. He says, "It's not like that. Whatever plush image your royalty brings to mind, put it away. My life has been nothing of the sort."
Oh, I can believe it. I just, find that really interesting. Do you have like a kingdom or something?
I don't bring it up unless there's someone really hard-headed that I need to talk to. Someone like you. And after a moment, he clears his throat and says, "Either way, no, that's not how my mother... Anyway, it's not really my title anymore as it is. I just felt it wasn't important to include that point. Now, shall
Fair
we be
enough.
going?"
By all means,
Valid.
my lord. And he just kind of bows and
he's like,
motions towards the
he's gonna
tavern.
say under his breath, he's gonna be like, "If you keep calling me that, I will kill you."
He kind of smirks. He's like, all right, I'm sorry.
When I write this song later, I'm gonna need your full name and title.
It's like if you don't like my lord, do you prefer Little Prince? We could do that.
My
instead.
prince.
I will leave this adventuring party now.
Daffy kind of chuckles like, all right, I'm sorry, Nars. I couldn't help myself. After got everyone kind of chuckling at it, he'll follow everyone to the bar.
All right, excellent. So you guys head across town, of course, passing the large and looming manor in the center of it, that's protected by a couple of guards with the front doors firmly shut. As you can only assume, this is the home of Lord Gideon that was spoken of earlier. But it is not the place you're looking for now. So you will continue on past a very familiar-looking tailor shop to Tove and Narcellis. And just past it, you see another building that looks like a tavern from the outside, and peeking towards the door, you see that there is indeed like a sign hanging from it that says the Dented Rudder. Actually, and this is supposed to be a completely different name. I messed it up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I forgot I was supposed to actually be named something else, but it's fine.
It's the Dented Rudder now.
It is. I completely forgot it had a name. So, And
it's right here?
It's fine.
Or is it up on the docks?
Oh, hold on. Sorry. It's actually going to be... Actually, we're gonna say it's... Oh, God. That's not the right button. We'll say it's like this little building over here.
Okay.
Neat.
We're just gonna throw y'all in here. And, I have... Oh, please. How do I reset Fog of War? I don't want it on.
Oh, there we go. I think.
Fine. It's fine. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're doing it. We're chooching.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
I think it's in settings. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
It's
Yay.
fine. It's fine. All right. So you enter the tavern, or actually, well, more like you get up to it. Here, hold on. I need to actually have someone else standing over here. So I will just use you. It's fine. Alright, so yeah, if you guys want to just kind of put your little tokens in this entryway area down here.
Neat.
So yeah, you walk into the tavern, and you are, you step into a small little entry room that has a rather old and worn rug underneath it. And there's another door that leads into the tavern proper, but your way is guarded by a rather small being. They have pale blue skin and shockingly orange hair as they stare up at all of you with their hands on their hips as they look over you all and say,
Captain wasn't expecting no one to show up today. What do you want?
Michelle is going to speak first, and trying to think quickly on what could get them past this weird, tiny blue person, he's going to quickly say, "We're from out of town, looking for work. By chance, would Captain Blackmane be looking for some new people to board his ship?"
And, good and roll a persuasion check for me. Why not?
Also, I apologize that my voice is not in character. I have a really sore throat today.
You're fine. You're good. I'm sorry about that.
No, yes, how dare you?
I know. I cursed you with my Fey magic. I did apologize. I got out of hand.
So, persuasion, right?
Yes. Ah, that dang Fey magic.
That dang Fey magic.
15. All right. So as you ask, and trying to make it seem like you and your group are here seeking work, the small creature before you guys kind of frowns up at that, and looks rather uncertain. But you hear a voice from off to the side, just out of sight, call over and say, just let them in. I'm in a good enough mood today. And they say, all right, suit yourself. So they will step aside and allow you all into the tavern itself. And as you make your way inside, you can see it's very spacious and meant for a lot of people, but over half of the place is abandoned. And it's looking like a fair bit of a mess, more so than you would really expect. At the closest table to you, you see there are a group of 4 people sitting there. Seems the closest one to you is an orc. There is a smaller, green-skinned woman, very similar to the one that stopped you at the door, but a fair bit taller. You're unsure of what her race is. On the other side appears to be an owl who's staring down at some playing cards that he's holding in his hand, and sitting between them is what appears to be a wolf wearing a captain's hat. He's
oh man.
He's got a mug of something in one hand that it's very clear he's been drinking out of, as he, looks over at the group with a big grin that just shows like all of his sharp teeth in his maw.
Taki bristles up a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The cat meets the dog.
Davari smiles and waves.
and he just gives a motion over to you guys. And he's like, come sit with us. What is it old Captain Blackmane can do for the newcomers?
Oh.
Marcellus is going to kind of look at Yulia and kind of grab her wrist a minute to get her attention and hold eye contact. And looking toward him, he's going to suddenly say, well, we couldn't help but see all the commotion going on in town, and while you do have a pretty magnificent ship out there in the waters, you wouldn't happen to have need for entertainment, do you?
And the captain will kind of look between everyone at the table, and the orc has to kind of like hide a snicker behind her hand, and the owl next to him has this look on his face like he's seen some shit. He's gone. He doesn't really know where he is.
No, he just zoomed in his face, and he really does.
Quick, Arca, stare back. Bird-to-bird communication.
But meanwhile, the smaller green-skinned woman beside him says, if I can find my place here. Yes, why don't we allow them to entertain us, Captain? I think it would be the peak of our evening today. who you now assume to be Captain Blackmane, gives a hearty laugh that sounds almost akin to barking of sort. And he slams his mug down on the table and he says, very good then. Come, newcomers, let's see what you've got. Entertain us. I've been kind of bored today with that general just staring me down from across the town.
Oh, he is the worst, isn't he? Marcellus is going to
General
chime in.
Charming over there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He
It's a
thinks he can
bundle of
threaten.
sunshine.
He thinks he can threaten me and my crew, as if I haven't dealt with worse, staring down the god's eye every time I run over to Arquette.
And
It is a
he-
rather
he's
long
still
journey.
he's still holding Yulia's wrist for a minute. He leans over to her like, do you think you can organize everybody to get something together?
Can you repeat that one more time? I'm so sorry.
So Marcellus is still holding onto Yulia's arm. He leans in by her ear and he's like, do you think you can organize everyone to get something going? I'm fairly certain I heard some people mention they played instruments.
Oh,
Oh,
What
boy.
did you do?
Yulia will place their other hand over Narcellus, is the one that's holding their wrist, and kind of pat. Is like, I doubt I can make miracles in the moment, but by God, I will try.
And he just nods. He just nods.
Taffy leans over and is like, you want me to talk to the captain then? Try and see if I can business to business speak with him?
Go ahead, Yulia.
I was saying, at the very least, I can just play something that'll please pirates. I do know a few popular shanties, and I can play up the mood a little bit.
Narcellus will nod to Taffy and say, okay, Taffy, you go schmooze the captain. Tove, Yavari, Arca, you all have instruments too, don't you?
I have bagpipes.
I have a didgeridoo.
This is going to be
Um,
perfect. This cannot be
Narcellus
wrong.
kind of looks at Tove and is like, don't you have something you can play?
I think I packed a tuba.
Yes!
Yulia whips their head like, I'll ask you where later, but
So Marcellus just sort of looks at everybody and just keeps his voice up. Okay, there's got to be at least one song you can play that'll make them laugh. Doesn't what's that one about the ship that brings people things?
the Tellerman?
Oh yes, that's the one.
Tellerman.
Yulia, do you
What
think
do
you
we
can get
do
out
with
your
a captain
lyre?
whaler?
Do you think you can get out your lyre and help conduct us?
Okay. I need at least one person to keep a beat, keep a rhythm, and then we'll go from there. And they'll kind of turn to Captain Remy. It would be our honor to perform a couple of songs for you, if it pleases you.
Of course, please, as he'll motion to like this open space beside the table. The floor is yours.
And then, real quick, I do want to say that in order to get his instrument, Narcellus goes over to Tove and reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out his fashando. This is gonna be fucking.
Oh no!
It's gonna be perfect.
Oh gosh. And so
What
then
would that
Yulia
be?
will just
Performance?
gestures everyone to just come over, and as they're trying to figure out how the heck are we going to do this?
Narcellus just kind of waves over Givari and Ark.
And then, kind of slowly, the people hanging out in the tavern, you can only assume they're maybe part of the pirate crew, start like coming over as they are definitely very intrigued by what it is going on over here at the moment.
We're gonna get pelted
geez.
by tomatoes.
It'll be entertaining.
It'll be something.
So, while you guys start to get set up with your wide array of instruments, actually, here, Taffy, I will get to you in a second.
Yeah, that's like I'm gonna go after all of everything else because I've got a whole thing.
Oh, the padlock speech.
So just out of curiosity, so what all instruments do we have again from you guys? I gotta know so we can tell chat.
I have a didgeridoo.
Uh-huh.
I have bagpipes.
I have a vajanto.
And
Just
I
like-
have a. Oh,
go ahead. No, I assume it's like a 200-something stringed instrument that sounds like a train.
Oh my god.
and I have a tuba.
And Yulia has her lyre.
Oh god.
This is gonna be glorious.
So-
This is gonna be perfect.
So, go ahead. I would like the 5 of you then to please make a performance check for me.
Oh,
Can
boy.
I please use the anima
please.
shard for
Yeah,
this?
remember you guys have anima shards.
You do.
You know what? You know what? I will also use my
It'll
anima.
be funny.
Also, I will also use my anima.
I don't
Okay.
want us to die. We need a roll high.
I think we're all gonna use our anima shirts today.
Alright, anima shirt.
How do I
go.
use it, by the way?
It's just you have advantage,
You just have advantage on the roll. Yeah.
Okay.
so you can turn on advantage and go to town.
Oh god. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Alright. So you have
He
a
can
six-
play
Here for
this
my
thing.
we got
life.
a 16 from Yulia, 21 from Narcellis.
Oh, please,
And
dice god.
is this performance?
Performance, yes.
Okay.
17.
Okay,
God.
Oh my god.
We are the greatest band to ever exist.
So, God, I don't even know how to explain this scene right now. So,
Okay, I got this. Sorry, Hans.
all
All right.
No, you're good. So, Yulia, you step up and you think, all right, I've got this. You know, I'm a bard. I've performed in front of a crowd before. It's no big deal. You know,
Exactly.
it's not like I've got a whole bunch of people here that I don't know if they know what they're doing, but we'll find out. So you quickly kind of discuss amongst yourselves, okay, what song do we all know? Oh, the Tellerman or whatever it was you guys agreed
Yeah.
upon.
Tellerman.
So you all start to pull out your instruments. Yulia pulls out her lyre. Narcellis, you pull out this instrument that can best, like a guitar does not do it justice. It is a stringed instrument. You know, you described it very well. It's got like the long neck with the strings attached at the
And
one end.
According to the description, it sounds like people screaming.
It's got some 200 strings attached to it to the end. That's like, you know, triangular shaped. That's probably about as tall as Narcellis is as well. Tove, you pull out, you have kind of like a little horn almost that with the flick of a button expands into a tuba. For whatever reason.
Just
Oh, actually, Starion, real quick,
Mhm.
just for Renard's chat. My best understanding of what this instrument sounds like is he's got metal finger picks on, and instead of strumming the strings, they are ridged strings that he drags his nails down to make that sound.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
use this to replicate sirens. Perfect.
There you go. Arca, you have bagpipes. No one knows where you've been hiding them all this time. You just have them. Yeah, they've just been
Play
here.
them with a beak.
It's fine.
Very carefully. I know you jam the mouthpiece down his throat.
and Yavari as well probably has, I imagine, has something kind of similar to Tove, where it looks almost more like a flute or a very small woodwind instrument, but then it suddenly expands into a didgeridoo. And you guys start playing, and for some reason, everyone seems to be enjoying it.
We're on beat. We're on tempo.
You are.
Yulia will lead the singing, and if the rest of the whoever's here wants to join, then that's great. That means they're enjoying it, and they cannot believe this is working.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. Yep. So you guys got
the
that.
base of a didgeridoo.
Excellent. Yeah.
I can't do
So yep.
this.
Well, you guys start that. Taffy, what would Taffy like to do while his friend group pulls off this amazing performance so far?
So, as everyone moves into position and no one's paying attention to him, Taffy, straightens up, clears his throat, smells his breath, calms down the bristles of it on his fur. And he's about to walk over, and he just hears that cacophony come out. But it's not god awful, and he's not sure if he should be impressed or concerned, considering the instruments that are on display here. He's like, okay, well, this is somehow working, so let's move on. So he clears his throat, recomposes himself real quick. He just looks, combs his hair over and walks over, sits down, and he lets the song play for a little bit there, for just a smidge. And he kind of leans it on the table and he's like, as you can see, my companions here are quite the professionals. So being from out of town and everything, we're kind of new to the area. What is it that you guys exactly trade? I heard you're a trading kind of company or something like that. Could you elaborate a little bit further?
And as you ask this, as the song begins, the pirates at the table, they're kind of nodding their heads along, like, oh man, this actually sounds really good. And as Taffy sits down and addresses the captain, he will, focus more onto the tabaxi instead of the performance going on. And as he asks, Captain Blackmane. I don't know why I'm thinking about him right now.
Secretly, we know.
Secretly Vomtus the whole time.
But Captain Blackmane will say, it's more so that we're simply hired by the Emerald Alliance to help transport their goods across the Dread Tide. If you were brave enough as we are to face the god's eye and stare it dead in the center.
Oh dang, sounds kind of that's pretty dangerous. You guys do that often?
Yeah. Fairly. No one is really brave enough, as I said, to do it. Makes for good money, but, well, let's just say the money's been getting tight around here lately.
Oh, it has? The prices going up or something like that?
Well, and he'll kind of think about it for a moment as he takes a swig of his drink. More so that I feel we just aren't being compensated enough for all the dangers that my crew goes through. I mean, hell, the next time we go over to Arquette, I could very well be swallowed up in that damn whirlpool.
Oh man, I hear you there.
So I think it is completely reasonable to ask for about a 25% increase in our pay to compensate me and my crew.
Oh, 25%. Hey, this sounds like a business opportunity to me. I did have a little bit of a question. If you work for the Emerald Alliance, wouldn't they set your rates? They typically seem to get involved. Last I heard, if they're, since they manage all of their sort of other smaller, trading guilds.
It's a complicated matter. And he'll kind of take another swig of his drink there for a moment. Well, it's true the Emerald Alliance pays us. I don't feel it's fair. but they've really yet to listen to me, so I have had to take matters into my own claws.
Oh, really? You don't think that'll upset the Alliance?
Who cares about them at this point? They don't care about me, so I must do what I must do.
You know, fair enough. As a little bit of a drifter myself, you know, you gotta take opportunities where you get them. Did have another question though. If you're here not trading, wouldn't the town just simply wait out until you run dry of money?
I suppose they could. Really, I was kind of hoping this would be over by now. His voice kind of drops into a bit of a growl. He'll clear his throat and kind of calm the bristling in his pelt. He'll say, we figured we'll give it a few more days, and now that we've caught the attention of General Faldvin himself, who's to say that I can't persuade the man to part with some of his nobleman's gold? I'm sure he can live without some of it.
Oh, now there's a plan. And he sort of stops for a second and kind of licks his lips. He's looking around, and he's purposely making it like seem like he wants the captain to know that he's cooking up a plan in his head. So he's going, you know, licking his lips, looking around. He kind of like raises his hand for a drink, and he's like, "What? How about me and my friends see if we can't help you out? You know, we're looking for work and all that. It would benefit us, you know, if you were to either bring us on board, or maybe if we get a little cut of the pie, if we can get you what you're asking for."
And he'll kind of give like a very barking laugh, like, and how do you expect to do that?
So he pulls out his little notebook. He's like, "Well, you see, working for a bunch of guilds over my career, we'll call it, you get into a lot of book work, accounting, so it was. So you want to negotiate, right? So you want 25%, correct? Now, how low would you be willing to go? Because any percent increase is a percent increase, correct?"
He'll kind of like narrow his eyes a little at Taffy, and he's like, "Suppose. Oh, I don't know. I think perhaps about 15 is as low as I'll go."
15, huh? Okay. See, so what you do, you aim high, you work down a little bit to your target price, but then you squeeze in some other stuff. See, you trade exclusively to the town, right? Would be real shame if, you know, I don't suppose you have any exclusivity contracts now, do you?
He kind of like looks a little confusingly at Taffy, and he's like, "Just go where the Emerald Alliance tells us to."
Exactly, and he points to the captain with his little kitty claws. See, now if you're operating outside of the Emerald Alliance anyway, might as well get a little something for yourself, right? So here's what you do: you lower your prices, and you say, "Hey, what if we were to trade exclusively to Eastbound? You sign a contract with the Lord, and then they can only get supplies through you. Then you, let's say, every 2 quarters, maybe, you know, every year or so, you sneak in there and be like, hey, you know, boats cost a lot. You want more supplies? I need more crew. What if you give me, let's say, a 1% raise? Then, and after a couple quarters or a couple years, you hit that 25%. You sneak it in. You slip it in there. You see what I'm saying?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
I'm gonna blow my anima shard. Persuasion, there it is. $23.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
At the same time, I'd like everyone to please make a performance check again for me.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
As you're continuing the song, I imagine you're around the end of the Tellerman. As Yulia tries to get you all to start a second one.
It just falls apart. It was so good for so long, and then just...
God.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, am I still? Oh
Oh wait, shit. Hey.
Oh,
Okay, let's say goodbye.
Wait, hold on. I thought mine clicked.
No.
no! My time to shine.
Here, Jabari.
You can't do encores if you don't know
Sorry,
Freebird.
mine somehow is just not working. Oh, there you go.
There you
A
go.
12.
Oh,
God
boy.
damn.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry.
It's
Oh,
okay.
here, here.
We'll take the 12.
We'll take the 19. We'll take
No.
the 19.
So, as Taffy, as you propose this to the captain, meanwhile, your friends have drawn the first song to a close, and then Yulia, you're all feeling very confident, like all of you are. And Yulia's like, all right, let's try something a little different, and then starts you on another song. And, Yulia, you start out, beautifully. You're a bard. You know what you're doing. Everyone else, I guess your confidence from the first song is starting to falter, despite...
We don't know
had
any
kind
other
of-
songs.
Like different songs. One.
And, when the first one, you had about the whole tavern sitting there, like, singing along with you. But now, the grinding of Narcellus's instrument seems to be more a nuisance than intriguing. The didgeridoo is completely offbeat. Arca can't seem to get enough air into his bagpipes. The tuba is just not doing it for people anymore.
It's just not doing it.
And so between this and between Taffy's suggestion, Blackmane will suddenly pull his lips back in a snarl as he'll slam his hands down onto the table. I ain't got that long to wait there, you little cat. Much as a nice plan as it might be, I'm looking for money now.
So he kind of, puts his hands up and is like, all right, okay. Fair enough. So he's thinking for a second. He's like, all right, so if you want your money now, and you're trying to, just saying that, those percentages don't go towards the Emerald Alliance. How much does the Emerald Alliance even take from your cut?
And he'll suddenly shake his head as he'll throw up a hand at him. As he'll say, "Enough about these percentages and math. I'm not good at math." And he'll wave at the rest of the group to try and get them to stop the playing of their instruments. I don't know if you guys will stop or not, but it's fine.
Sure.
Let's stop. I think we're gonna stop now.
And
since I rolled high, maybe I can play something more mellow, maybe calming.
Just everybody else is like, all right, everyone stop, please. And then Julia's just going at it like, I can save this.
I can save this. I can fix
it's the liar solo. Liar solo.
Julia's
Can we
trying
move
so
around
hard.
the tavern?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're more than welcome to. As kind of everything comes to a stop, the people kind of start to disperse again. But Captain Blackmane will look at Taffy and say, "Listen, I was intrigued when you all first stepped into this tavern, but now I'm just annoyed. I'd rather not talk about all this nonsense of percentages and who's paying me what. I just want my money.
All right, fair
Can't help me get that. I'd rather see you leave."
Fair enough. Where's your quartermaster?
Quartermaster, shit. I should know what that is.
Basically, they're the bookkeeper for a pirate kind of group.
He'll look to the owlin sitting between.
Oh no, god damn.
Oh, I can't even. He'll look to the owlin sitting between you guys, who this entire time has just been like staring at the cards in his hand.
Oh no. Taffy slow turns.
Further traumatized by her playing.
And you'll see they're really, at first you don't think there's any other playing cards at the table. You're not sure like what he's doing. But then you see he suddenly takes a card and throws it on the table over towards the green-skinned female sitting beside the captain. And he doesn't say anything. He just looks at her. And she'll look at the card that he just threw down, which appears to be like a 2 of clubs or something. And she'll just throw up her hands and be like, fine, you win! God, I hate playing cards with you.
What the fuck game are they playing?
No one knows.
You're playing Uno.
Well, while they're trying to figure that out, Narcellus, what you got going on over there?
While Yulia saves the performance, Narcellus has set down his instrument. He's been listening to Taffy and angry Captain Blackmane. He's going to kind of slide up to Taffy to stand beside him, while Blackmane's going on his tirade about how no more math. He wants his money now. And Narcellus is going to kind of lift his hand up, and he's going to hard pat Taffy on the back. He's going to go, well, then it's a good thing that my friend and I don't need to leave, because we can get you your money by the end of this week.
Blackmane will look at Narcellus curiously, but with definite interest, and he'll ask, dare I ask how?
And Narcellus will just kind of look at Taffy for a minute, just like with this silent pleading in his eyes.
Taffy crosses his arms and stares back with he's puffed up his cheeks, just looking at him like, really?
Narcellus is like, well, we happen to know someone that's walking around with 20 platinum in his pocket.
Oh no!
Oh,
Taffy freezes.
are we robbing Pretty Boy? Are we robbing him?
The captain will seem intrigued by this as he kind of takes a moment to. It looks like he's trying to take a moment to do the math in his head, but he just growls at himself and shakes his head as he says, well, consider me intrigued again, but how is it that you hope to get this money from his pocket into ours?
And Narcellus is gonna lift his hand up and he's going to beckon Tobe over very quickly, come here.
Oh God.
And Narcellus is getting even closer to Taffy, and he's got his arm around the Tabaxi's shoulder, and he's gonna say, well, you see, my friend and colleague here was invited to that little asshole lord's party at the end of this week, and it just so happens that she was invited by this very rich man. Now, he looks at Taffy for a moment. He's like, I'm willing to bet anything that there's a fortune, or at least something worth that, inside that house. And he looks back at Captain Black. He's like, now won't you believe that a tabaxi and a drow, and a beautiful lady like this, can get you what you need?
We're not gonna be alone on this continent anymore.
Taffy just stares at the wall.
His life flashing before his eyes.
And he's kind of through his teeth. He's like, yeah, we could definitely get you what you need. Real quick question, though. The, dealing with lords is one thing. But do you happen to have a plan if the Emerald Alliance decides to show up? Unless you may have already dealt with that.
Sorry, I have to find my notes here.
Kathy, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Listen, he's got 9 lives. I'm sure it'll be
fine. Captain Blackmane just gives a shrug of his shoulders, and he's like, I'll deal with them if I have to later. It's not important. But I have heard of this party this Lord Guilford or whatever is throwing later this week. But if you could get your hands on some of his money, then I think my crew and I will allow business to resume as normal.
And Marcellus is going to kind of start leaning against the Tabaxians and go, man, you've been here for quite a while. You must have heard something about, what'd you say his name? Guilford or something. Is there anything you've heard of his that you're interested in obtaining?
Mm-hmm. Is there? Is there? And Captain Blackmane just actually, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. And the captain thinks for a moment before, as he scratches at his chin. Well, we did just deliver some important package to his manor on our last trip here. I was not privy to the contents inside, but I can only imagine what extravagant item he had shipped to him this time. He's an eccentric one, that is. Always collecting things of odd sorts. Valuable, though, from what I hear.
So, Taffy at this point, looking at the captain,
Mm-hmm.
you know, his cheeks are a little puffed out, and he's kind of like, you know, he's got that like that kind of like look, and he, you know, between the captain to Nars, the captain to Nars, the captain, and then he's like, and he reaches into his you know, he lets out his breath. He reaches into his cloak and he pulls out one of his lockpicks and he twirls it within in his hands. And he's like, "I believe we can arrange that package to change hands, as it were."
Well, if you're if you're so confident, very well. I will expect to have it at the docks, say, the day after the party.
And Narcellus is going to kind of just like tip his head back like, oh, no problem. We'll have it out by that night.
Excellent. Well, I suppose I'll leave you to it. To enjoy this lavish ball Lord Gerbil is throwing for all the royals.
Gerbil.
So Taffy does go, and at the sound of that, he does stand up. He reaches his hand across the table and he's like, "And you will leave the port if we get you this item, correct? Your word on it?"
And Captain Blackmane will look at him for a moment before standing up, and he'll take his hand and very firmly and give it a good shake. "Aye, on my honor."
Excellent. Then I believe we have an accord.
We're all gonna die.
As
Taffy
much as
kinda-
a pirate's honor could go.
Taffy kind of like glances at Nars, not with a look of anger, but as though he's kind of upset. It only flashes for a brief moment, but you know, he composes himself and he gets ready, and he's like, I'll be ready near the entrance when you guys are done, you know, entertaining the crowd.
Before you leave, this Blackmane will speak up before Taffy can get too far from the table. Because of our accord, you are more than welcome to the rooms upstairs. We've commandeered this tavern for ourselves while we've been staying here in town, but you and yours are welcome to the facilities here.
He's like, that's most kind, and in fact, we'll probably need that for, let's say, planning purposes.
As you wish. And, really quick, Yavari, did you have something you wanted to say there? I don't know if the chat bubble was still from Narcellis or...
Versus bubble. Yeah, I don't. Yavari doesn't have anything to add right now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, well, you know, the captain seems fairly satisfied now with this new deal he has struck, and, you know, as he said, he has allowed you guys free reign of upstairs where, you know, if you happen to go up there at all, there are rooms that you are more than welcome to take to rest in. But yeah, otherwise, I think maybe at this point we'll stop here, because I know we had to kind of stop here soon anyways.
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh, it's all good.
It is a good cliffhanger though. We gotta plan the heist.
Yes.
It is. Oh boy.
Oh god.
Heyday music intensifies.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11, here we go.
Oh my god.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yes, the plan is set, and yeah, now it'll be next time we will pick back up where I guess you guys will plan out your heist and see what happens. Oh.
I'm so glad we left all the talking to Taffy.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that's not commentary. I just like the two most charismatic people besides Julia in the room. Probably for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually this is hilarious.
This was amazing.
This is so funny.
This could not be better for Taffy. Okay, well, it's not good for Taffy, but it's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, Taffy's ready to change his name again.
Oh.
So Laffy.
To Laffy.
Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy. So there you go.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Y'all are funny.
That performance was just gold, though.
That was pretty great. Honestly.
We need a band name now.
We're a band now.
Yep.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
The fight finishers.
Yeah, otherwise
The
that
fight.
is everything for tonight, you guys.
Excellent. Thank you for running again this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so glad we
That's
got
fun.
the gang back together again.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
Saturday.
Mhm.
Yep. I should be good to go. But until then, I hope you all have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bam. Excellent. All right, it's time for a heist. I've got some ideas. We'll see how that goes. Razorbind intensifies. Yes, I hope you all had a fantastic evening. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And Monday, for certain, will be Dwarf Fortress. And then more Limbus. And then more Kenshi. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend, which I've already just said. Oh, baby. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. Take it easy and stay safe out there in those Feywilds.